Hi. Okay, Miss Tage Traumer, can you tell me what your first name is? Hi, Nat. Hello. Natalie, we have a date tomorrow morning. You got my DM right, 8 o'clock? We're gonna go for that. Hope it's still good. It's Brenda, Mad Journalist on IG. Okay, I have to try to remember that, but please forgive me if I forget. I don't have a very good memory. Hi, Laura from Toronto. It's good to see you here. You're ready. Cool. I'm so excited about it. Hi, Deborah. Oh my goodness. How are you guys doing this fine Sunday? I hope you're doing really well. Hey, hey. Hey, Bree. So it's Sunday. I just got done well, I drove home this morning and I left finally at around, I think it was about 8:30, 8:40, and I started driving home from the conference, and then I went over to get coffee on my way, and then I met up with my husband and daughter, so that was really nice. It's dark 30 there. Where's everybody from? I know Laura is from Toronto. I know that Natalie's in Puerto Rico, and Bria is in Colorado. Where's everybody at right now? From Maine. Okay, cool. Well, you guys know I'm in Southern California, East Texas. I may be going to Texas within 6 months, so we'll see. But anyway, if you're new to my channel, my name is Rowana. I am the designer of the Sojourner Traveler's Notebooks. If you are new and would like to subscribe and are interested in journaling and planning and that type of thing, and just basically we talk about different things, not just about that, but whatever is going on or is on my mind. And so if you want to subscribe, please do so and hit that bell so that you can get notification when they finally get the notification going. I know some people are not getting it. And so anyway, I just wanted to talk really, hi Lori. I just wanted to talk briefly about, I didn't really have much of a topic today. I haven't really thought much about it. Sorry guys. The weekend. Hey Babette. And I'm kind of tired and a lot going on in my head with what happened over there at PlannerCon, which was a great, it was neat to be able to go there. If you guys watch this channel, you would know that because I talked about it for the last couple of days. But anyway, I just wanted to talk briefly about the play that I just saw, which is The Diary of Anne Frank. And something I wanted to just share is that, you know, as I was sitting, well, first of all, that diary I read at a very young age. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to assume I was about 10 or 12, but it really did impact me. And I've always loved diaries. I loved reading different people's diaries, as far as, you know, the ones published, of course, not personal ones that are unpublished. But anyway, that is something that I've always been drawn to. I think it had to do with the fact that I read the whole book or the Diary of Anne Frank. I read the whole thing, and I remember just crying through it. And like I said, I can't say, I'm not sure if that was one of the things that drew me to writing in a diary. I almost want to say yes, but I don't really have confirmation of that, since I don't have my very, very earliest diaries. But it would be kind of a neat thing to know. But I do know for sure that that did impact me as I grew up. And so if you've never read it, in fact, I'm going to be reading it again because it just reminded me of it. And throughout the years, this is just another part of who I am, is I have had a, how do I say it? An interest in the Jewish culture. And so anyway, all that to say, if you've never read The Diary of Anne Frank, I would suggest that you do so. And did you guys see my Instagram story? kind of funny if you guys didn't see it. As I think I told you guys before that Sojourner had provided the diary for Anne, and 3 diaries, so that it could be at different places at different times. And so yeah, the big logo, it was so funny. My husband showed it to me. I was sitting there, and he had it open, and he showed it to me, and I was just like, wait, what? I was so shocked. And I think what happened is that if you can see it at the bottom, the verbiage is not complete, and so someone must have not paid attention, and it was much bigger scale than it was supposed to be, and so the whole thing wasn't in there, which is totally fine. It's just very surprising. And so anyway, and yeah, so it's just funny. So anyway, oh, one of the things I was going to say is that when I watched at the very beginning, as I was watching, I was thinking, you know, if we didn't have her diary, we would not maybe have a different layer of understanding of what happened during the Holocaust, right? And so again, that's just a reminder for us that, you know, the things that we write about is something that people will one day read about and maybe get an idea of what life was like in the 20th century. And the fact that, you know, I've said a couple of times now that your life is important, and it's a story, it should be told, and it doesn't matter what you write about. I think even if you're writing about what the cost of pizza is, I made that example before. Pizza, you know, 10 years from now, maybe $20 a slice, but today, you know, you can get it for $2.50, maybe $5 if you're in Chicago. They're big, thick pizza. But it just gives you something to compare it to, though, when later on in life, if they discover our diaries, right? And it'll say on there maybe a price or a receipt, whatever you share. So anything that you share, because a lot of times people don't know what to share in these diaries, in their journals. And so you could share any of that stuff. I think it would be very interesting. And so yeah, so again, your life matters, journal it. So having said that, question for you guys today: have you guys journaled or planned? You know, over at PlannerCon, somebody was telling me, I asked them what they did, were they more journalers or planners, and the one girl said, well, I am. Yep. She said that she is a memory, more of a memory planner. So basically, she puts a lot of her memories. Yes. Good job, you guys. Have I journaled? Oh, no. But I have planned. I started doing my planner while I was at the coffee shop. I did journal. It always makes my day better. Well, that's right. And so I will be journaling for sure. I have a lot to say, especially after going to PlannerCon, and I want to just kind of write down so I remember these things. But anyway, the gal I was talking to, she said, I love watching Mandy plans in her memory keeping process. I'm going to have to check that out. So that's what she does. She does the memory planning. And so her pages were just super cool, and it had a lot of just what she's doing that day. And some of them are pre-done stickers from a shop, and she would put those on there. And then some of those stickers would have like squares where you can write down, you know, the to-do list. Actually, yesterday was the first day I haven't journaled in a very long time. Oh, well, Bree, you better get on that today. No pressure. No pressure at all. I mean, I think it's great to journal our every day if we can, but no pressure, you know, just get on that if you want to keep your journaling up to date. And again, something I still have to do today. But anyway, and so, what was I talking about? Oh, journaling planner memory. I need pressure. I have lots on my mind. There you go. Wait for you to get that out of your mind, maybe, huh? And so you can always, if it's just so much and you'd prefer to type it, you can always do that and then just tip it into your actual journal. I think that works too. Whatever makes it work, I think is a good thing. So anyway, that's all I kind of wanted to share. Like I said, I didn't really have a whole lot of topic for today, and tomorrow, that's a great idea. Oh, I'm glad you think so, because sometimes that is what I do, or sometimes, you know what too is a great idea. If you don't do this already, just I sometimes, when someone writes me a note or an email and sends it to me, a lot of times I will print it if it's something that maybe touched them or just something that I could use. It's not so that I can get a big head when reading it back again later on in time, but it's really to document what is going on and just really that's a good idea. Write it on note on your phone and then print it. Yeah, that's a good idea. And so sometimes I write or I print those letters because sometimes I just need the encouragement, you know. And when you're flipping through your journal, you'll see that piece of paper. It's easier to see because it flops or whatever, you know. And so if I need encouragement once in a while, I'll go back and read some of those. My friend passed, as you know, and I need to print out the info and tip it in. Yeah, I know it's always hard. I hope you're doing better. Text me or DM me. Let me know, Bree. Hope you're feeling better. And then yeah. So anyway, those are ways that you can, if you have a lot to say. I am things, it's just hard to document it, you know. Yeah, I know. It's just like when I said the other day that sometimes when I have some things on my heart that, you know, is something that upset me or whatever, and sometimes I just don't even want to journal it, because journaling sometimes it's like rehashing it, right? But like I said, sometimes doing that and rehashing it, so to speak, really is a release, because sometimes if we don't rehash it and it just keeps on being bottled. So it just depends on how you feel about it at that time, you know. And I'm sure that you'll find a time when you could maybe speak about it a little bit easier. And so yeah, so I know how hard it can be sometimes. And but like we've talked about all along, you know, we've got to do what we've got to do and how we want to do it, and it's our journal, and we've got to use it the way we want to use it. And you guys are so great. Yeah, it will be fine. Time passes and it gets easier, kind of. I agree. It does get a little bit easier, but it's still a remembrance. And I think of my dad and how in me I knew that he was going to be passing away, because he passed away from cancer. And they did not tell us, the parents did not really tell us exactly what was going on. They were just private that way. And so, but I had a feeling that it was only going to be a matter of months. And I remember I would cry like every night. I would just wake up in the middle of the night and I would just cry, because I think how can I go on without my dad and his counsel, that he was always great at giving my husband and I, especially when it came to financial, because he was an accountant and an auditor in his career. And yet, as time passed, it did get easier, but I still think a lot about him. And when there's a lot of things going on, like that I need advice on, sometimes I think of him and I think, gosh, you know, I wish he was here. But yeah, it does get a little bit easier, but there's no telling how much time anyone needs to grieve or not grieve, you know. I think sometimes people think, oh, you know, it's been a year, it's been 2 years, whatever, and your relationship wasn't that close, and whoever it is, whether it's a friend or whoever, you know, but that's not really for anybody to decide. That's really you. That's up to you, you know, and it's how you feel about it. And it's okay to grieve. I think that's one of the hardest things is when you lose somebody and people just almost aren't very understanding sometimes, you know, and make judgment. And we all judge to a certain degree on different things, but they don't need to voice it, right? We don't need to voice that because everybody grieves differently. A friend just recently lost his battle to cancer as well. I journaled about the good times, so not to concentrate on the sadness. Streets about what you need to do, find peace. Oh, I lost that last one. Was that you, Nat? Sorry. YouTube just goes so fast in those. But yeah, so I just hope that you feel better. And you know, I'm always there to talk to. I'm just a DM away. So anyway, so I hope you guys are having a good Sunday and that you're ready for Monday. I said my mom passed 14 years ago and I still feel it. Yeah. I know, I appreciate it. Well, we appreciate you, Bree, for all that you do. Thankful for the things you teach us. Time passes, but you will always miss your presence. I lost someone very dear to me 37 years ago. It still hurts. God has me. Yep. And it's good to know that God has you, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah. So, back to Anne Frank. If you guys have never read that book, you might want to check it out and see. And there's also a lot of other books that are diaries of people from the Holocaust. I know I have two. One of them is about a husband and wife who, he's an American and he was part of the group that liberated her, and then they became friends, and then they ended up getting married. And then I have another one that the title has something to do with Shanghai. I can't remember what it is now, but I'm going to look it up because I'm going to lend it to actually Alyssa's sister. She was interested in it. So, yeah, so that's all I kind of wanted to share with you guys today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Again, I just want to encourage you. Corrie ten Boom, yes, definitely. She's got wonderful books. Wanted to encourage you guys to keep on documenting your life, no matter whether you think it's not interesting or it's minute or whatever. Even just documenting what's happening today in life and politics, whatever. Just write it. Even writing down your thoughts on it, you know. I'll have to watch your replay, no problem. You can write your thoughts on it, and years from now, people will probably find an interest in it and see that how people felt, you know, and people might, who knows who you're going to touch many, many years from now when they've read your diary. You may touch someone and they go, wow, I'm not the only one who's felt this way, you know, and they realize that years prior to them thinking of these things, they're now able to relate. So, you know, there's a lot of benefits, like I've always said, about journaling, and we know a lot of them, but history is one that I think is worth documenting for the future. Again, not just for your own family or your own kids, but for the future, for people in general. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and go so that I can get to dinner. My husband and I are going to go to dinner tonight and probably do some work, and I'm sure, for sure, I'm going to be journaling some. And so I hope you guys have a nice evening, and we'll talk to you soon, tomorrow in fact. And as usual, keep on documenting life as it happens. Bye-bye. Shalom.